Here we have the scroll saw. This tool is used to make curved cuts, not straight cuts, not square cuts, not narrowing cuts, but curved cuts. Here we have the hold down foot. Here we have the blade. The whole black portion here is the table. Right here is the lock for the hold down. Right here is the dust collector. This yellow knob in the back is the tension knob or tension bar. Right here is the light, and then down here it actually is listed for you. So the light button, and right here is the power switch. So the farther you turn it to the right, the faster it will go. Before you use this tool, there are 3 things you need to do. First of all, loosen the knob right here so that the hold down foot falls down and rests on your material, and then you turn this to the right to tighten it. That's so that your material doesn't bounce up and down as you're cutting. So very important, you're not pressing it down, you're just letting it rest on your material. The second thing you need to do is make sure that the teeth on this blade are pointing down towards the table, not up towards the ceiling. Step number 3 is to make sure nothing's touched the blade, and then you're going to test the noise of it. So right now it sounds very dull or dead. So what you're going to do is on the tension knob, where it says plus, we're going to turn it to the right until the noise on that blade, like this, is a high-pitched noise. Now you're ready to use it. During use, keep your fingers at least 2 inches away. So a 2-inch circle around that blade. Keep your fingers at least 2 inches away. The next rule during use is make sure that your fingers are never directly in front of this blade. So your fingers can be to the right of the blade, to the left of the blade, behind the blade, but never directly in front of the blade. Very important. After you're done with the tool, please clean up your scraps. Don't just leave your scraps on the table like that. Please put them in the trash can or in the storage. There are 2 things you should never do. Put your fingers directly in front of that blade and try to force this material into the blade. Don't force it, let it cut slowly. Important things to remember is make sure the blade tension is tight. The second thing to remember is that you always need to cut on the inside of the line. So we're trying to remove this part and save this side over here. If you notice, I cut across that line, which means I can never get that material back. If I cut on this side of the line and I cut along here, not right on that line, and what I can do is after I've cut it close to that line, I can get a file or use one of the sanders or just hand sandpaper to sand exactly to that line. If you try to do it right at the beginning with the scroll saw, you'll find it's really hard to cut right where you want to, so always stay on the inside of the line. Don't cut right on the line.